the way that things are established to benefit women, it's awesome for us. And we don't acknowledge that as a privilege, which is a shame. All right, so having said all of that, I know that was a mouthful, I would like to talk about the personal responsibility part of it, which is that if you are attracting a certain pattern into your life, if you're attracting a certain type of person into your life over and over and over again, you definitely need to look at yourself and wonder why that is. It's easier to blame other people than it is to do this. Taking
personal responsibility. Yep. So that would be called accountability for one's actions or thoughts. That's something that a man learns from a very early age, that he's going to be held accountable, and not just for his own actions and thoughts and decisions, but also for the actions, thoughts and decisions of the women around him. Take, for example, when two young people, male, female, consume alcohol, have consensual sex, the woman then later decides she wants to withdraw consent, and the man is now held accountable by law. So she can rave on about personal responsibility as much as she likes, while these laws that enforce accountability on men and absolve accountability for women exist. She's going to have the option to take responsibility personally when she feels like it, and to absolve herself from that responsibility when the need arises. So she's positioning herself for one of the many perks in life that women have.
Personal responsibility of our failures is probably the hardest thing you can do, but it comes with a major perk, if you want to call it that, is that all of a sudden you own your life, you take responsibility, therefore you are free from victimhood. You're no longer a prey, you're no longer a victim. Now you are in charge, you are in control, which is like so liberating. Why wouldn't you want that? If you start assuming that things happened to you in your past because it was partly your fault, probably a lack of judgment, a lack of discerning, you were stuck in some bad behaviors, making bad choices. If you acknowledge that, now you're free. You're free to construct whatever reality you want to live in. That's awesome. And so I would say that for both feminists and men going their own way, look within, look through your own faults. That is the maximum wisdom I believe someone could have, is to be able to discern their own shortcomings, to be able to discern how bad and rotten they really are at the moment and how they can become better. Because you can become better. But it takes some humility. It takes some breaking down of the way you are used to seeing the world in order to do that. And that's not easy. So that's why a lot of people put it off.
I look at this woman and I see privileged Western woman, young woman who's semi-educated, talking about humility, and she is displaying the most conceited, ignorant behaviour I think I've witnessed in a long, long time. Like, for her to stand up here telling MGTOW that they need a little bit of insight into their lives so that they can attract women is just, has its ignorance on a level I find difficult to describe. Like, the assumptions around that term, it's difficult to understand how this woman can think that men who are going their own way, which is about improving your life as a MGTOW, that's what you do, to say that MGTOW have got to have some kind of insight or they're going to keep attracting women. MGTOW don't want to attract women. Like, how, and to say that you're going to have your own reality. It's like this woman is on another planet when it comes to what life is really all about. She's not under, self-awareness and responsibility, personal responsibility. Like this talk that she's giving us is not worth listening to be honest.
So having said that, I would like to start the advice portion of this video, which will be comprised of 3 steps or 3 things that you will change in your life in order to escape this type of mentality. But also, this will completely radically change your life. And I really stand by this and I really believe in it because I have seen the results in my own life. So here it is. The first one is what we were already touching upon before, which is the victim mentality. No more victimhood. Victim mentality is easy, it's comforting, it's lazy, but it is not going to add anything to your life. It is only going to disempower you, make you struggle for no reason. When you take control of your life, when you take ownership of your own mistakes, when you take ownership for all your past, no matter what it looks like, you are now set free. You are now a powerful person in the world. You can start working on your integrity, on being better, working harder, and learning more. You can gain knowledge on how to communicate better, discern people better, deal with conflict, and negotiate. You can learn all of these skills and become a freaking machine. Why wouldn't you want that? You can literally change your whole life by saying, no matter what happens to me, I am not a victim. I'm not a victim. And look, victimhood is a real thing. I do not want to completely disregard that because it is a real thing. But if someone has really abused you in the past and it was not your fault, you had nothing to do with it, that is a horrible thing for a human being to go through. I get it. And I feel for you if that's the case. But
oh, what a lovely virtue signal that was.
If you allow that event dictate your future or the actions that you're taking in your life, if you let it take more power over your life than what it should, you are letting that person win. Whoever abused you, whoever was tyrannical towards you, whoever imposed you something against your will, you are letting them win by adopting that type of mentality, by not standing your ground. Fight for what you believe to be true. Own yourself. This will radically change everything in your life. If you do not see yourself as a victim, I'm telling you, it's the most empowering, most amazing transformation you can go through in your life. I really believe that that's why our generations are so stuck. It's because people are so easily caught up in this whole victimhood thing. It's not a good place to be at. It's not a good thing to be a victim. It's like it's become the ultimate moral virtue. It is not a good thing. In fact, I would argue that it can be borderline pathetic.
So yeah, clearly she's still in the feminist camp here. Men aren't victims, we're perpetrators. Right, that's what we're painted as. We're the perpetrators. The women are the victims, right? And there's a whole hierarchy of victim and perpetrator that's on display at the moment regarding intersectional feminism. So, yeah, sitting there telling us about how you've decided to take responsibility for your life. That's called growing up, sweetheart. That's what adults do. Okay, so just like it's so empowering for me that I've decided to be responsible for my life. Oh my God, fuck off.
Depending on the circumstances, some people really are victims. We should definitely take good measures for that to not happen in the world, because that is a tragedy in itself, that some people are evil enough to override someone else's rights, to commit horrible crimes towards them. But you should not let that define you as a person and for that to become your whole identity. Life is hard, I get it, but being a victim is not going to help you. So
I swear to you, this woman would not last 24 hours in a third world country. It is unbelievable what this woman is saying. She would be in a screaming, crying heap in a third world country. she wouldn't know what hit her. Talking about being oppressed and having her rights taken away from her, like just the naivety. I guess it's naivety. I don't know what it is, but
there's that, and then there's a tragic fact that men going their own way have this victimhood mentality towards women, which is by itself really unattractive to women. See, as women, we are very attracted to leaders and strong men, brave men, men with integrity. If a man is weak and a victim, that is really off-putting to good women that are wanting to find a masculine partner. If
I'm calling projection on that one. Okay, every MGTOW I've met, and I can say that every MGTOW I've met, and not just the ones that are calling themselves MGTOW, but the ones who are living the MGTOW lifestyle without really being aware of MGTOW. So I'm talking about every man I've met who's made this decision not to have anything to do with women is not through victimhood, it's through integrity. They're not prepared to live life under the rules that are imposed upon them by women. And you can see this in the dating apps with the woman's laundry list of requirements for the man that she intends to have sex with. Right? And then, of course, she's going to fuck any bad boy that comes along. Okay, so, like, don't, as a woman, talk to a MGTOW about integrity, because you've got no idea what you're talking about. You don't have it, you've never experienced it. Okay, so just, you can project all your feminist bullshit onto MGTOW, but you're not getting anywhere, right? We don't care that women are attracted to strong leadership and blah 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 blah. Right? That's to even say that to a MGTOW proves that you've got absolutely no idea what you're talking about, and you're saying MGTOW versus feminism. Complete rubbish. All of it. Wake up to yourself.
a woman is attracted to your victimhood, there are some women who are attracted to weaker men, but that can be because they are attracted to a different dynamic in the relationship where they are more dominating. Most men don't particularly enjoy being in that type of relationship because it will leave them numb and emasculated. So